Damn, cuz. Everybody like, why you always pick your hair like that? Like a white girl combing her hair? Because that's how I want to pick it. I'm just gonna put my hat on anyway. I'm gonna pick the back. What's up, Melba? Damn. I need to get my. I need to stop fucking twisting my hair when I'm bored. That's what be making it hurt when I pick it. Thank you for sharing, Melba. Always. It's a lot longer than I thought. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. What's up, guys? Make sure you share. We're gonna talk about Mac Miller, Dave Chappelle, and Cardi B, as it says in the description. I got pretty positive reviews yesterday on my videos. It's cool. It's cool. Okay, guys. Nice and sexy. Bam. All right. So, yo, what up? It's AaroniMoses. I almost forgot to do my intro. You guys distracted me. Not good. So, Mac Miller. Mac Miller, if you don't know, he was a rapper who was about the same age as me. He died November 2018 when I was in Yale. And he died of an accidental overdose. A combination of fentanyl, cocaine, and alcohol was found in his system. Now, I don't know whether or not he knew that he was taking fentanyl, because a lot of people have been putting out pressed drugs, disguising them as Xanax. And if you don't know what that means, pretty much what it is, it's not real Xanax, it's fake Xanax, and it's actually a drug that is much, much stronger, and it's not even a freaking benzo. It's an opioid. So what happened is they are trying to get his drug dealer and charge him with his death. I think that if he knew that it was fentanyl, no, they shouldn't charge him with the death because of Mac Miller. Why? Because he knew what the possibilities were. He wanted the effects. And to be totally honest, when you deal with certain drugs, you just have to know what you're doing. And alcohol, I think I said that too. Fentanyl, cocaine, and alcohol. So, no, they shouldn't be charging him with his death. If he didn't know that it was fentanyl, it's still a 50-50. It's still something that I am slightly against. Why? Because when I was younger, when I was in high school, because I'm from Atlanta, I started doing drugs, hard drugs at a very young age. I did everything with the exception of shrooms, heroin, cocaine, crack, methamphetamine, and that's pretty much it. I pretty much by age 17, I had done almost all those, a lot of drugs besides those. Never did shrooms, crack, cocaine, heroin, methamphetamine, pretty much everything else I did. Okay. So when I was doing pills a lot, I knew how to test them to make sure that not only was it what I wanted, but to know how much of this drug to take or to not take. Okay. Now, I don't know Mac Miller's situation. I don't know if he got fake Xanax or he got real fentanyl on purpose or not. But at the same time, when I was wise enough to know to, hey, take a little piece of it and test it first. However, I tested it, that's just how I did. And that's partly why I'm still alive and I'm not in Mac Miller's position. Now, I'm not saying I'm saying that his death is horrible, but you don't need to be charging the drug dealers for people's overdoses. Where I'm from, that happens a lot, especially when it comes to white women overdosing when they take drugs. Okay, but what about all of these rappers who have died from drinking lean, allegedly? What about Fredo Santana? What about Lil Peep even? He knew he didn't know that he was taking fentanyl. He thought he was taking Xans. What about him? Was he not famous enough, or was it because he was bisexual? What about that? Justice for Peep. Like, why are you? The thing about it is, when you sell drugs on that level to celebrities, you probably have a large clientele. So now you're taking all of these people's sources away. Some of these people, this is their only source. Now they're gonna be sick. They're gonna be, they're gonna have to compromise certain things they didn't want to have to compromise. The prices are gonna go up on these drugs depending on how big this person was, which was probably pretty big. So not only are you messing with people's health, you're messing with the economy, man, and that's just not okay. Secondly, that's not funny. Secondly, not that's not funny, Melba. Secondly, we have this whole Dave Chappelle Sticks and Stones stand up. Now, I saw it. I saw it. I didn't say that I didn't see it. I just asked who saw it and was it worth it. I didn't watch it on Netflix because I know where to get things without having to have Netflix. It's like that. So I didn't watch it on Netflix, but I watched it twice and it was funny as hell. There are one, two, three, four, five things that people mainly complained about when it came to Dave Chappelle's Sticks and Stones stand up. Before I go into this, I'm going to say a couple things about the LGBT community. And I want to say that I respect it, I appreciate it. I don't have anything against people who have, what's it called? Alternate lifestyles or alternative lifestyles. I don't at all. Except this one thing. Now, today when I was at work, there was a lesbian at my job, and she was like one of these type of lesbians. I don't know the jargon, so I don't want to mislabel or sound insensitive, but she was one of these lesbians. When she was walking past me, she was staring me down. Okay, she was staring at me, she was mugging me, if you will, right? At first, I didn't understand what was going on because this doesn't really happen to me. So I looked back at her and she was still, and I was thinking, see, this is why there's such a divide between straight men and lesbians because of actions like this. So you know what I did? I gave her one of these. And she looked away like, damn, that's why I hate niggas. And I was like, but you shouldn't have stared at me, bro. Why are you staring at me like we're in jail? I looked right at her ass. She had a nice little onion, and I looked right back at her eyes, and she did not like that. When she came back from wherever she was going, she took a whole different route. She had a nice booty, but she shouldn't have did that because I'm not a woman, bro. I'm not a woman. You're not a man. Let's not do this because you know things. I know things you don't know. Okay, I just wanted to say that. Okay, I don't like being challenged by men, but by come on, relax, just a little bit. So the first thing I want to say, I think the the Michael Jackson thing. Dave Chappelle said that he didn't believe those two last people from this documentary that Michael Jackson that was on Michael Jackson. He didn't believe that he got to them. He says some other things. If he doesn't believe that, he doesn't believe it. And the fact that people are saying that he's a bad person or he was in the wrong for saying he doesn't believe that Michael Jackson got at these two dudes is crazy. All right. He's a father. Dave Chappelle's a father, so I'm pretty sure he didn't really mean that these little children should be honored to be molested by Michael Jackson, and they should accept the free Hawaii trip because it's a fair trade. Like, I don't think it was just a joke, guy. Like, that's the thing about it is, why are you even discussing Michael Jackson, no matter who it is, if he's been dead for so long? Why? You're drawing attention to something that doesn't need to be drawn attention to. So, of course. All right. Next, I mean, he said some more the Macaulay Culkin thing. It was just a joke. All right. Oh yeah. Okay. So the next thing I want to discuss about this Dave Chappelle Sticks and Stones thing. I read an article where it said that I think he could probably sue for this, but it said that Dave Chappelle said that bisexuals are gross. They're disgusting. That's not what he said. He said that lesbians and gay people probably think that bisexuals are disgusting because they will have sex with both of the only two genders that exist. So that's not what he said. And I don't see, look, I don't have gay friends, I don't have lesbian friends, and none of my friends have told me that they're bisexual, even though I suspect that they are because how they look at me when I do this and when I lick my lips and when I stand up and pull my pants, whatever it is, okay? So I don't know what he knows. He says he has lesbian and gay and bisexual friends. That's what he said. I don't know. They don't tell. I don't have the same information, okay? I don't even know what to call this type of lesbian. So I don't know what goes on in their minds. And that's not my fault, okay? But I think that shouldn't have been said. So next, the whole thing that he said about transsexuals, transgender people. This is gonna sound like a little bit of victim blaming, which I'm gonna bring up because he said he was a victim blamer himself. The thing about it is, I do understand because I've done the research. I haven't had this discussion. That incense is strongest. Those dollar gas station incense are strong. What the heck? All right, that's enough. I just needed to get the smell of Newports out there because it's hard to focus when I smell cigarettes. The thing about it is, from my understanding, when somebody is homosexual or bisexual or lesbian, and they have certain feelings, when they don't express themselves sexually, when they feel like they can't be open or out the closet, right? Out the closet, it is detrimental to their mental health. Okay, they're more susceptible to bullying, they're more susceptible to acting out violently, they're more susceptible to have depression, anxiety. So I get it. You need to express yourself and how you actually feel. But the thing about it is, let's all pretend that homosexuality was a choice. Let's just pretend for 1 second. If gay people didn't have to be gay, if lesbians didn't have to be gay, being transgender is something that you could probably avoid as well. It's not something that is like you have to actively go out and express yourself in a specific way. You can you can't look at a gay man and tell if they're gay or not. When I interact with certain people and this person he just has feminine mannerisms and speaks a certain way, I don't automatically think that he's gay. He might just have spent a lot of time with his mom and his grandma, and his auntie and his little sister and his big sister, like a lot of people, especially in the black community, do when they end up just being hella feminine acting, but they have all the beesies, okay? So I don't just automatically go around and think people are gay unless they do something or say something that is like, all right, I was like 60-40, now I'm like 70-30. All right, now I'm like 80-20, okay? So I don't just assume everyone is a homosexual just because they're a little feminine. I don't assume everyone's a lesbian just because they're really masculine. Maybe they grew up with a lot of uncles and they had four brothers and a dad, and their mom was out somewhere doing something she wasn't supposed to be doing. So, with that being said, you being a transgender, you are actively putting yourself out there. Unless you dress like a woman and you have a wig on and you have some big ass titties and you were just born with a naturally soft face, and there's no way, there's no reason for me to think that you may have been born with a penis and testicles and stuff like that. Okay, being transgender is probably the most extreme acceptable thing that you can be. More acceptable than extreme body piercings and face tattoos and eye tattoos and body modifications and gauges this side, like, and neck stretching. There's things that you can do that are less extreme than being a transgender and more acceptable. So putting yourself in that position because you choose to not have to hide, you want you want to be accepted, you want to relate to people. It's just there's shit comes with that. Things come with that. There's consequences to everyone's actions. It says in the 48 laws of power that you can think how you want to think, but you have to act accordingly to society. And I don't believe that. That's deceptive, and that can cause a lot of stuff in your life that doesn't need to be there. That can cause a lot. You can think how you want and you can act how you want. But even if you act within a certain realm of normality, there's still gonna somebody's still gonna have something to say about you. Like, all right, I'm gonna give you one example. I was talking to one of my Caucasian women friends, and I was describing somebody's hair, and her reply, well, I don't remember exactly what we were talking about, but she asked me, "Oh, was their hair like mine?" Or no, she said, "Was their hair like yours, or was it like normal?" And I was like, what did you just ask me? Was their hair like mine or normal? What are you trying to say? Like, whatever you do, you could be perfect. Somebody's still gonna have something to say about you. But the fact that you are going against a lot and you still have something like you didn't expect, nobody's ever gonna stop talking about what you have to do. And you cannot be censoring people. You can't tell everybody that you're mad. You cannot be listening to your um I'm straight but I still support gay marriage friends because they are offended because somebody that they love is a part of the LGBT community. You cannot feed, they have a saying in Chicago, don't feed the savages. You cannot feed the savages. Do you think Dave Chappelle, do you think anybody would be talking about this if it wasn't such a big deal, if you didn't feed it? Now, again, I don't mean to sound like I'm victim blaming, but certain things just don't get any attention anymore because nobody cares about it. Why do you think, who do you think is talked about more in comedy? Gay men, lesbians, or transgenders? Why do you think nobody makes jokes about lesbians? Because lesbians don't respond to shit like that. Not only because it's the most appealing, because out of the four letters, but because nobody respond. You, if lesbians responded how transgender people responded to shit, don't you think people would be talking more about lesbianism and comedy? You cannot feed the savages. If you give it thought, you give it power. You being so upset and then you're feeling so much about these types of jokes is paying Dave Chappelle. He's not gonna stop until you stop. Do you think if Donald Trump was like, you know what? I'm just gonna be a normal adult. I'm gonna stop acting like a freaking pedomorph. I'm gonna stop tanning. I'm bald. Fuck it. and I'm not gonna be on Twitter anymore, do you think people would still talk about Donald Trump? How long does he have left? If he got reelected and he just stopped all that shit in the first year, do you think people would keep talking about him? It's already been a long time. Okay, he's keeping it up for a reason. He's a troll. You see what happened to Tekashi 6ix9ine. Why do you think nobody's talking about him? Because he's not doing anything. He's in what, prison? He's in jail right now. He's not tweeting. He's not telling people to suck his dick. He can't do any of that. He's gonna figure something out, but he's not doing it anymore. He's not the hot topic. Transgenderism is, because you guys keep putting fuel on the fire. It's not like you're black. Police are always gonna shoot black people and kill them. They've always been doing that. I've been desensitized of that since I was little, okay? Me seeing all this camera footage and all these that doesn't affect me because I've heard about it, because I've seen it. It doesn't affect me. So you telling me about some little boy who just got shot in Florida somewhere is not gonna affect me. I'm gonna be like, oh, that's unfortunate. Next. That's how you have to be about it. It's not the same thing though, because people are not always going to be making fun of transgenders. I mean, unless you help them, unless you make it a market. Something to think about. Okay, so next, the whole victim blaming thing. Dave Chappelle, I mean, the second part, what did he say? The second thing he said about the whole, again, these child molestation jokes, they're just jokes. Don't give it too much thought. But the thing where he said when Chris Brown hit Rihanna, he asked what she did. That's not necessarily victim blaming. That's trying to assess the situation for what it is. I asked what happened. I don't necessarily ask, well, what did you do? I mean, if that's what he said, that was a joke. Somebody typed that in the article too, but it's whatever. And the abortion thing, I don't agree with that either. I wasn't offended by it necessarily, but if a woman has a, he said if a woman has a right to kill a baby, then a man should have the right to abandon the baby if he didn't want it to be born, and she did. Of course, I don't agree with that. Of course, I don't agree with that. The situation I was in when my son was born, it was just so perfect. It was so perfect. And yeah, I didn't want Liz to get an abortion, though. I didn't. But if anything, it wouldn't have been a horrible idea. No, I'm just playing. That wasn't funny. It was to me. But okay, so lastly, Cardi B, we're gonna close it out. This is really not that important to me, but because Cardi B shouted me out way back then when I had like 5K and then 2K people followed me in like a certain amount of time. She shouted me out when my YouTube channel was called We The Bang TV. Shout out to Cardi B. So this last part is just showing love. So what happened? This group of little white kids, four 14-year-old quadruplets made a Cardi B diss song and a video with it. It was pretty adorable. I'm not gonna lie. But somebody edited one of her Instagram lives to make it look like she's 16. And honestly, I was offended because of the love that I have for Cardi B and the music that she puts out and the hard work and Offset's wife. Offset's wife. Nah. The fact that people do that for clout, the fact that they do anything for clout, and you would try to assassinate somebody's character so hard, it's crazy. Of course, she said that she participated in the drop game, which means she drugged people and robbed them when they were under the impression that they were going to have sex for money. Yeah, I mean, that says a lot about a person. But people grow a lot. But no, she didn't make that video in response to those people. She was actually making it in response to some fans that said something about her releasing an album. Now, on the Twitter, there was a response, a reply to that video that said if they want to, if they're 10, if they want to act like adults, you should treat them like adults. Now, that is 99.9%. No, that's not. That's 46% of the reason that the African American population is fucked up. Because no, you don't respond to children as if they're adults because you think that they're doing something that is out of line and out of pocket. Whether they use foul language, whether they whatever they're no, you don't respond to them like adults. Do children respond to children like they're adults? Exactly. You should have enough knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to know no, you don't. What if we took that and applied it to any other situation? Well, she was dressing like an adult, so I gave her this adult. No, that's not how you respond. You don't respond to you don't. You have to meet them at their level, stupidity. Okay, but that was it. That was it, guys. I talked about 30 minutes. That was a long time, but I covered everything pretty much. I thought I was gonna talk about the Dave Chappelle thing a lot longer, but that's what beer does. You just start thinking and thinking and thinking and talking. The calm before the storm is a baby being born. Yeah, that's exactly right. That is exactly right. I got a lot of people that came in, and there's something wrong with my view count because I saw people liking and sharing hearts and sad faces and growly faces, but it doesn't appear that anyone's here, which I don't think that's true. But I want to sip the rest of this beer. If you guys have any questions, let me know. You guys, you mother. I think it's everybody that was born after the year 2000. After everybody who was born after the year 2000 and before like 87 was really offended by this Dave Chappelle stand up because I mean, yes, he said a lot of things. It was funny, old school comedy. He made fun of everyone and everything. Of course, that's what they were saying. Well, Dave Chappelle is stuck in the 80s. You can't just say anything like that. Why? Why? Come on now. He said every word you could say. I mean, pretty much all the worst words. And they were like, oh, he's bringing out the N word again. That's original, bro. If you don't shut your dick in the booty, fucking shit mouth up, are you fucking crazy, bro? This generation. I'm moving my son to Russia somewhere, so he can grow up emotionless and apathetic. Cause you guys over here, I'm pretty sure that dude who wrote that article was not Russian. You got too many emotions, cuz. You need to take a bath. You need to reconnect with your father. Cause you don't know what's going on in your life. That's interesting. That's true as man, them Tauruses, I tell you. When he's kissing all up on you, and then you remember that one time he lied at that time and that date. Yup, exactly. You could see it. Baby, what's wrong? Nothing. You want your dick sucked or not? I'm like, no, 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 no. I'm good. Unmute the TV and go make me some noodles. I don't want my dick sucked anymore because you're on some other shit. All right, guys. Obviously, nothing. Just pull your dick out. Nothing's wrong. And I'm like, all right. Sometimes I'm like, all right. And then she's like, I just find it funny that I'm like, bro, what the fuck? And then they get mad at you and start using it as a controller. I'm like, don't do that, bro. This is a penis. It's not a fork. Put it back in my pants. If you don't want to suck it, drop it. Put your hands up. Put your hands behind your head. Don't play with my dick like that. It hurts. It's not a vagina, okay? This is finite. I have limited time on this. I just can't put Vaseline on it and pretend like everything's okay. All right? It breaks. It breaks. It's not a vagina. Babies don't come out this. Not those type of babies. So anyways, yeah, I've gone too far. I've gone too far. I'm going to end this, guys. I'm not going live this week or next week because I'm going to pull like 60 hours because yeah, the homie got locked up and I want to show my support. Free the real. Free the real. And I'm sure there's something coming up that I want to do. There's a reggaeton concert and I'm trying to get some of that. Trying to get some of that trying to catch me a little Latin snack, trying to get some churros in my life. Wait, let me make sure I said it correctly. That is a snack. Wait. Not churros. I mean, a churros a snack. I didn't mean a penis, though. It's a penis-shaped food. Well, I'm a snack. Well, but I'm not Latino, though, or Latino. Let me see some Mexican. Let me Google some more Mexican snacks before I say some weird shit. Trying to get some churros. Not that. Mexican snacks that don't look like penis. No, I'm just playing. Let me Google some Mexican snacks. Some Doritos wheels. What? Doritos? Is that what they're called? That doesn't sound funny though. Doritos wheels. Some Elon. No, that sounds like a man's name. Well, you know what I'm trying to say. That part. All right, guys. It's AaroniMoses. Life is in the breath. Breathe it in, baby. Stop being greedy. Share this video. Peace. That was awesome.